Psychology, the study of the mind and its functions. Humans have always been fascinated by their thoughts. From the early thinkers of ancient Egypt to the great philosophers of ancient Greece, people have always been fascinated about the way people think, why they think that way, and what they do with what they think. Originally being a subset of philosophy, the great minds of human history, such as Plato, Aristotle, and Confucius, began to ask the questions that today still help guide our science. They began to suggest that perhaps certain things that plague people's minds had physical causes rather than supernatural ones. The 19th century saw the genesis of the scientific study of the mind. People like Gustav Fechner or Hermann von Helmholtz began to actually experiment or finding information through the scientific method to try to isolate and identify concepts like perception. Later, a scientist named Wilhelm Wundt established the first official experimental laboratory in Leipzig University in Germany, beginning what would be incredible strides in the study of human behavior. Psychology had been primarily focused on treating psychological maladies. However, by the middle of the 20th century, a new perspective in psychology began to emerge, one that focused not on how to fix something that had gone wrong, but rather how to help achieve your greatest potential. It was a going back to the basics of sorts for psychologists. See, they had been focused so much on the research of everything that could possibly go wrong with the human mind that they forgot about those who, although maybe they weren't necessarily sick, maybe needed a way to help them achieve a better outlook on life and realize their own potential. Until this moment, there had been two main schools of psychology: psychoanalysis and behaviorism. Psychoanalysis, developed by the world-famous Sigmund Freud, helped treat patients by using techniques of free association and transference. If you ever pictured a therapist, he is the one that most likely pops into your head. He argued that dreams also had evidence of the cause for certain mental states. The second, behaviorism, championed by B.F. Skinner, simplified human behavior as simply a response to stimulus or a consequence of a person's history. In other words, thoughts and feelings can be measured similarly in terms of response as overt behavior can. Skinner is often seen as the evolution of the famous Ivan Pavlov and his experiments with dogs, known for the propagation of the classical conditioning theory.